Guys, I'm going to talk about Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri, and I'm going to talk about Kyrsztof Glowacki. I hope I pronounced that right. My Polish is coming along, but Glowacki versus Steve Cunningham. So obviously these fights were morning time over here in the UK, but normal time over in the States. So I never really got a chance to watch it because I was away with the family this weekend. So it was really, really busy. And yeah, let's start with Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri. Errol Spence really, really impressed me. In his last fight against, I think it was against Chris Van Heerden, or the fight before that, he fought Le Greco and Van Heerden very recently. And really impressed me in those fights. I mean, especially Van Heerden, he was a Euro level fighter, pretty decent, known for his good chin going rounds. He really took Spence a good few rounds, 8 rounds, even though Spence was kind of dominating. So that was also a good learning curve, and especially this. I mean, Chris Algieri's never been stopped. He had a war against Ruslan Provodnikov, got knocked down twice in the first round, got back up with a completely almost swollen eye, won the WBO 140-pound title that Terence Crawford actually holds now. Um, he also fought Amir Khan, came in, completely changed his style of moving and jabbing, came in high volume, put the pressure on, make it really uncomfortable for Amir Khan, and that was a quite a close fight as well. I know he came in around 163, 164 for that fight, so it showed he probably was growing into the weight particularly well, as opposed to just before when he was facing Manny Pacquiao, who knocked him down about 4 to 6 times. One or two were slips, but nevertheless, officially got knocked down 6 times, but got back up and obviously he was still there fighting. Errol Spence really showed different levels to his game. He can box from range. He can come inside and make it uncomfortable for his opponent. He has an elite inside game for me. Really, really special. Um, for his age, his size, everything. He just ticks all the boxes for me. I'm not going to say I'm blown away right at the moment by him, and he's the next coming of Floyd Mayweather or anything like that. But he's definitely one to look out for at 147. I think if he was to face Kell Brook now, I think Kell Brook might beat him based on experience and a few subtleties in Kell Brook's game that might negate um, Spence's positives and his style of boxing. But I mean, that's a really, really close fight. I mean, Spence has the power. He obviously has power, so he has the power to end the fight at any given moment. And I think at 147, that is a key aspect to have, especially with the other top 147 guys. Kell Brook has pretty decent power. Thurman, one time, he says he has one time knockout power, one punch knockout power. Don't really believe that. He's moved up in levels, Bundu, those sort of opposition, and he hasn't really knocked them out. Colazo, um, he kind of struggled with a bit. So, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'd pick him to beat Thurman now. Porter would be a very good match as well. The styles would clash very well. Brook would be a good fight as well. Certainly better than the potential Brook opponents out there. Adrian Broner, Lamont Peterson, even Jesse Vargas, which I actually think he's going to face Jesse Vargas next and unify the WBO and IBF belt. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. I think Errol Spence is really, really good. He has a really high upside. He can continue to improve. He's very young, very talented, obviously. And for me, he's floating around number 8, number 9, possibly 7, 8, or 9 in the welterweight rankings for me. And a really good talent, really good prospect. He's turning into more of a contender now rather than just a mere prospect. Chris Algieri seems like a nice guy. He'll come back. As I said, I think he's probably like fringe world level. He's not a gatekeeper by any means, but he's definitely there or thereabouts. He's probably in the top 20, I'd say. In the top 20 welterweights, 25 maybe. But he's not. he's not like a bad opponent, but he's not obviously a mind blowing opponent. You kind of know what you're going to get from him, but he's been very adaptable. He's moved to John David Jackson, sorry, and so he's adapted his style of boxing, and hopefully he can continue to progress and possibly get another tilt out world title. See what happens. I know Errol Spence actually is not going to face Brook next. He's slated for an IBF final eliminator against Konstantin Ponomarev. Um, Ponoma- Ponomarev. Sorry if I've got that pronunciation wrong as well. My Russian is also coming along, so I'm trying my best there, guys. So hopefully I don't get any abuse on that. But yeah, that's as an IBF final eliminator, and that will be for Kell Brooks, the mandatory challenger for Kell Brooks' title. Purse bids and negotiations will actually start in October for the winner of that fight, and probably happen sometime around next year because Kell Brooks obviously dealt with his mandatory and Kevin Bizier, so yeah, that will be done there. Quickly want to talk about Glowacki versus Cunningham. Glowacki, I think, is a fantastic fighter. In this fight, he showed a bit more boxing rather than pure brawl like he did against Huck. That was a fantastic fight, splendid fight. One of the fights of the year for me. Huck, we all know what he's about. He looked well. He had an iron chin. We don't know now, but still looks like he has a pretty decent chin. Glowacki, knocked him out brutally, and it was a really, really good performance from Glowacki. Only problem is, I think he gets hit a bit too much. For me, he's probably not the number one in the division. I'd go with Grigory Zod or possibly Lebedev just based on experience and longevity. But Glowacki's definitely up there. He's a fantastic fighter. I just do think because he's so open, he could struggle against those sort of elite level fighters at cruiserweight. Uh, Possibly Zod, I'd say, to outbox him and win him on points. Um, I don't know. I know Alexander Usyk is his mandatory, and I'd pick Usyk over him to win 5 points. He's a very good operator, Glowacki, but at the elite level of the division and the sport, I think he might just fall short. Cunningham was catching with real haymakers. Cunningham's not renowned for his power, so obviously we have to take that into consideration as well. Cunningham's 39. He's kind of like not getting any younger, so we've got to take that into consideration. And if it is the end for Steve Cunningham or coming close to the end, really happy. He's been a really good fighter over the years, and I've really enjoyed some of his fights. And wish him all the best in his next few fights or retirement or whatever he's planning to do. Um, as I said, Glowacki, who he could face next, I know Usyk is his mandatory. They're trying to K2 are trying to push that fight on Usyk's behalf, so that's a possible fight there. Zod, I know he's facing the winner of Makubu Bellew for his former WBC title because he's champion in recess. Lebedev and Ramirez actually fighting for the IBF and WBA titles. So there's a few opponents there. Possible opponents there. We'll see where it goes with Glowacki, and I hope he gets some big fights. He's a very fun fighter to watch. I really like watching him. Great style, very fan friendly. So yeah, hope he does well. He's got a good upside on him. In comparison to some of the other contenders at cruiserweight. Uh, yeah, if you enjoy the video, please give the thumbs up. Quickly, very quickly. I've been running at the screen for a while, but yeah, I gave a couple of thanks and a shout out one or two to a few YouTubers. So please do check that out. It's in my previous video discussing the UK fights over the weekend. So please do check that out and check the guys out on YouTube as well. All really sound guys. So yeah, please do have a look at them. Um, as I said, like the video, please give a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Share the video so it gets out to a larger audience. And anything else, PM me, tweet me. Feel free, how you feel comfortable. And yeah, speak to you guys soon. Peace.